Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. In this episode, we'll be talking about 3 sovereign citizens. 2 of them are individuals I've covered before, with some new updates, and the third is a sovereign citizen who quite literally gets laughed out of court. But before we begin, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, surfsharkvpn.by. Now, most of you probably know how a VPN works. It masks your actual IP address and location, allowing you to browse the internet safely and securely while appearing to be somewhere else. This feature also lets you unlock geolocked content and access discounts that you wouldn't normally get. For example, I use Surfshark VPN when traveling so I can stay up to date on my local news and sports. Without Surfshark, YouTube TV blocks access outside of the US, but by simply turning on Surfshark and selecting my hometown, I can access it again and keep up with the entertainment and news I want. This same benefit applies to most streaming platforms that restrict certain shows and movies by country. Surfshark lets you access them easily. Another great advantage is the ability to change your location to find the best deals on hotels and flights when traveling. Plus, Surfshark VPN has a strict no-logs policy, offers 24/7 customer service, and allows unlimited device connections under one account. That means you can protect your PCs, laptops, tablets, and mobile devices, all for one low price. So, take back control of your internet privacy and try Surfshark VPN today. You can even get 4 extra months of service and a 30-day money-back guarantee when you follow my link in the pinned comment and description below. Thanks again to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get started. Next voice. If the court makes something you say private, it's not because they don't want the public to hear it, it's because they're trying to gatekeep that level of comedy. But seriously, plea negotiations are kept private not to suppress some hidden truth about licenses and registration, but as a standard legal practice meant to protect confidential discussions between the involved parties. That's why such matters aren't made public.
All right, let's call a case.
Calling case 2400390201, the people of the state of Michigan versus Tanea Nicole Tubbs. This matter is scheduled today for a pretrial. Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elena Rozak on behalf of the people, P78815.
Good morning, Judge Deanne Patillo, P82378 on behalf of Ms. Tanea Tubbs.
Ms. Tubbs, if you can state your name for the record, please.
Grand Rising. I asked the Holy Spirit to come in here and touch this courtroom today, and I welcome the Holy Spirit. I am Tanea Nicole Tubbs, the beneficiary.
Okay. And Ms. Patilla is being appointed as your standby counsel, Ms. Tubbs, all right?
No, sir, I did not ask for that. But if I'm being forced, then I'm being forced in direct coercion.
All right. Well, I'm not forcing you, but she's going to help in case you need anything. You don't ever have to use her, but if you want any questions on anything, she's there to help you, okay? You're gonna represent yourself, but if you have any questions, you can ask her, all right?
I hear you, sir.
All right. Do we have a jury trial date on this?
March 7th.
All right. We'll set this is set for jury trial on March 17th at 9 a.m. Ms. Tubbs, did you want to discuss settlement with the prosecutor, or do you just want to go ahead to jury trial?
I wanted to ask the prosecutor a few things, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Your Honor, one of the things I think that we put on the record last week when we were trying to establish whether Ms. Tubbs was going to represent herself, if we were going to relieve the prior defense counsel of his obligations and then also get standby counsel. And I think that today was more of an update just to make sure everything was in order, but knowing that the trial
and I have ruled that she can represent herself, haven't I?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And that's why the other counsel was relieved and
Right. Okay.
Ms. Patillo was put on as standby.
All right.
With that, I think that we had mentioned the possibility of having Ms. Tubbs be brought over here so that we can have discussions Ms. Patillo is standby. I feel comfortable speaking to Ms. Tubbs as long as there's somebody else there. Even if they're not fully representing her, at least there's a third person. And I wouldn't mind speaking to her in person, but I think it's going to be easier if she's here, and I don't necessarily want her to say something on Zoom in open court that might affect her case when she's representing herself.
All right, we can do this one of two ways. Either can put all of you in a breakout room and let the three of you discuss things, or we can bring her here.
I would ask Ms. Tubbs what she would like to do.
Ms. Tubbs, what do you want to do? Do you want to go into a breakout room with the standby counsel and your and the prosecutor, or would you like to come here physically to talk with them?
I can do standby counsel. I mean, I can do not standby counsel, but I can talk to them in the break room, since she's afraid of what I have to say, so the public would not hear.
Only a fool would believe that the Holy Spirit is going to come down and defend them in court. In fact, I've covered one of these people before, and just like her, he claimed that Jesus Christ would act as his lawyer. And guess what happened? The Holy Spirit never showed up to defend him, and he ended up being sentenced to 40 years to life in prison. So before you try to summon some mythical litigator to represent you, you might want to consider accepting the very real lawyer that the state is willing to provide, for free.
So if I could interject, I apologize, Your Honor. Would I be able to, well, if Ms. Tubbs allows, would I be able to speak to her before she speaks to the
I don't allow.
That's an excellent idea. Ms. Tubbs, would you be willing to speak privately with Ms. Patillo?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Patillo, I don't think I can order her to do that. So, Ms. Tubbs, as I told you before, we got taught the first day of law school, he or she who represents themselves as a fool for a client. I would strongly recommend that you talk to Ms. Patillo, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. What would you like to do with that?
With all due respect, sir, I am not working alone. I work with the Holy Spirit, so only a fool would think that the Holy Spirit ain't helping me.
Like mother, like son. And honestly, what are you doing ignoring the law when you have 7 children relying on you for food and shelter? I can almost guarantee she's depending on the state for benefits while at the same time acting as if the state is the very burden that caused her situation in the first place.
Not being smart.
All right, and I'm not being smart with you either. I'm telling you what they told us in law school, all right?
That's understandable.
All right, that's fine, Ms. Tubbs. So she apparently, will you be willing to have Ms. Patillo in the room with you and the prosecutor?
Sir, I do not need her. Thank you. I'm not willing to.
All right.
I want somebody.
Yeah.
Regardless
so the
of who it
prosecutor
is.
says she does not feel comfortable talking directly with you without somebody else in the room. So
You're forcing me. You're forcing
I'm
me
not
to have.
forcing you to do anything. You know, you don't have to talk to me. We can just go ahead and have a jury trial. That's fine with me. So what the prosecutor is saying is if she wants to talk alone with you, that there has to be somebody else in the courtroom or in the room. So you tell me.
She can have her in the courtroom, but not on my behalf. It can be on her behalf since she's fearing what I have to say alone. I'm not understanding why.
Put the three of you in a breakout room to discuss things.
Okay, thank you.
Do you agree to that, Ms. Tubbs?
I agree to speak with her with the third party on her side.
All right. And counsel, how long do you think we should put you in the breakout room for?
10 minutes to be safe.
10 minutes, and then you can have more time if you need it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
I'll take 5 minutes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put you in 10. You can always stop early, okay?
Thank you.
A few moments later.
All right, let's call Ms. Tubbs' case, please.
Calling case 2400390201. The people of the state of Michigan versus Tanea Nicole Tubbs. This matter is scheduled today for a pretrial. Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elena Rozak on behalf of the people, P78815.
And good morning, Judge Deanne Patillo, PA 2378, stand-in counsel for Miss Tanaya Tubbs.
All right, Ms. Tubbs, if you can unmute and state your name for the record, please.
For the record, I am Tanaya Nicole Tubbs, the beneficiary of the account.
All right, Ms. Tubbs, you have a constitutional right to be physically present for this hearing. Do you agree to waive that right for today and hold this hearing by Zoom?
Correct.
Okay. All right, where are we at on Ms. Tubbs' case, Madam Prosecutor?
Your Honor, I did get some information from Ms. Tubbs, and I did look up the, I know that the defendant is in Calhoun County Jail right now, and that she has a sentencing date of March 24th, 2025. When is our trial date? The 17th?
March 17th.
I'm guessing that Calhoun County would let her come here pending their sentence, since we have a trial date. I don't know how that all works because their case is a 2022 case, so it's definitely older. But either way, that's a problem for somebody else, I suppose. I think that Miss Tubbs needs to be brought over here, and maybe we should have a pretrial before the trial once Miss Tubbs is here, where we're all in person. And Miss Tubbs can bring whatever documentation that she wishes to provide at that point. That way we all have it, and we're all on the same page, because some of the things that she's referring to, I do not have. And I would say that we're likely going to have to proceed to trial.
All right. When are you proposing that we have this, bring her over beforehand? Obviously, the closer to the date for the court's purposes, the better, because we don't have to retain her as long from Calhoun. But if you think it would help to bring her earlier, we can do that too.
I think that approximately 2 weeks before, so that puts us in the March 3rd area. Sometime at the end of the week before or early the week of March 3rd.
I'm available the 6th, if that works for the court, prosecutor and Miss Tubbs.
All right, why don't we schedule this to have her brought over here for March the 6th, and we'll have the hearing at 11:30. Is that time okay for you, Attorney Patella?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll set this for March 6th at 11:30. Hey, May, can you send a writ to have her brought from Calhoun County here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes, go right ahead, man, Ms. Tubbs.
I am looking forward to being out of here before then, and it is my duty to come there on my own as a freeborn sovereign to this. I do not need to be detained or retained. I am not an entity or subject to any entity. And I gave this paperwork to the 36th district, and I'm not going to be able to get this paperwork if I don't be able to walk and go get it, go home and print it out myself, because I have none but 8 children. I am by myself. I don't have support. I just have myself and my 8 children, which my oldest just went to prison, so he's not able to help me any longer.
I don't know about you, but having 8 children that I'm not taking care of because I'm currently locked up in jail isn't exactly what I'd call living. Anyway, that wraps up the first hearing. Now, we move on to the second one, where we meet a sovereign citizen in Judge Chisholm's courtroom, and this time, the entire courtroom staff ends up laughing.
All right, well, we'll see you on March 6th at 11:30. You have a nice day, ma'am, okay?
So there is no holds on me, correct?
Well, you're going to be in the jail here, Wayne County Jail.
What I'm telling you is that I'm going to be released from here either today, tomorrow, and I do not need any holds to come to another jail. I am a freeborn sovereign. I do not need to be detained or retained. I am not subject to any entity or am I entity. I am a
All right,
living being.
you haven't,
I'll give this sovereign citizen some credit. He's the first one to make a truly special appearance by showing up perpendicular to the pull of gravity.
Someone has come online from an iPhone. What is your name, please?
My name is Kimash Myrick. Special appearance today.
Yeah, no, that's what lawyers are for. Think of it this way. If you were locked up and your freedom depended on solving a quadratic equation, would you, with your third-grade math skills, try to solve it yourself? Or would you let a mathematician handle it for you, for free?
You're going to have a chance to speak with Attorney Gagnick before the arraignment. And you'll see on your screen an invitation to join a breakout room. And we're going to go to breakout room 2. So when you see the invitation to join, please join.
Magistrate, Mr. Myrick declined counsel.
Okay.
I'll just have him acknowledge on the record, and then I'll let you take it from there.
We've got Mr. Myrick coming back. We'll close the room.
I get the impression that he may be filing a special appearance on behalf of a sovereign citizen.
Okay, we've got Mr. Myrick back. This is 25-00183. People of the City of Berkeley versus Kamash Daku Myrick.
Magistrate, I'm just going to acknowledge my presence for the record. Patrick Gagnick. I'm here as appointed counsel on behalf of the arraignment docket this morning. I did speak to Mr. Myrick in private. I did explain to him he does have the right to counsel. I explained to him, obviously, that right. He's indicated to me unequivocally that he does not want counsel. Mr. Myrick, is that a fair statement?
That is a fair statement.
So with that said, I'm here and present, but with that, I believe Mr. Myrick will address the court on his own behalf.
Mr. Myrick, you have the right to decline counsel. You also have the right to change your mind. If you do, just notify the court.
Yes, sir.
You've been charged in this citation that was issued on the 22nd day of January at about 5:58 in the morning with driving in the city of Berkeley on Henley near Franklin Street while your license to do so was suspended. Driving on a suspended license is a crime for which you could be incarcerated up to 93 days and or fined $500. You have a right to a trial. Trial can be before a judge or a jury. You can act as your own attorney or you can be represented by counsel. If you cannot afford to retain your own attorney, an attorney can be appointed for you. You'd have the right to confront and cross-examine the witnesses against you. You'd have the right to testify yourself or not to testify. In the event that you choose not to testify, your silence cannot be used against you. You have the right to be presumed innocent until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The court's going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf.
No, sir. I don't even understand the charges here.
Neither, because Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 doesn't mention common law or maritime jurisdiction. And to answer your question, you're currently being charged under Michigan state statutes. The state of Michigan derives its judicial authority from several constitutional amendments, most notably the 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution.
The charge is driving a car on the streets of the city of Berkeley while you're not licensed. You're suspended. That's the allegation.
Well, I totally understand, and I would love to plead, Your Honor. But before I have some questions on the record before moving forward and concerning the subject matter of the jurisdiction and the nature and cause of the action that's brought against me.
The nature of the cause brought against you is a criminal charge.
Okay.
Alleging that you were operating a motor vehicle on the streets of the city of Berkeley while your driver's license was suspended by the Michigan Secretary of State. That is the nature of the charges brought against you.
Thank you, Your Honor. For the record, are you saying that these are criminal charges?
Yeah.
Okay, Your Honor. Further, that brings a little bit more confusion for me because under the Constitution, there are two criminal jurisdictions. One is under the common law, and the other one is under admiralty and that's a military tribunal venue. And under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, which one of these criminal jurisdictions am I being brought up